Hey, what's going on, guys? Joe with OMGRC here. So today we're going to be doing an upgrade. So currently, as it sits factory, it has a 4S system. That means it's got a 1300 kV motor that comes standard with it or stock, and it has an 80 amp Hobby Wing electronic speed controller. So today we're going to go ahead and we're going to upgrade this with a 2000 kV leopard motor. As far as the leopard motor goes, the model of it, I can always leave it in the description too, but it's a leopard 4082. It is a 4-pole brushless, sensorless motor. So it basically has it for, you can do it on a 1/8 scale, no problems there, or you can do a lightweight 1/5 scale. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and I'll have to put the bullet connectors on there, solder those on to the motor, the new motor. That way I can plug them into the current, which is in there if you can see and take a look. It's the Mamba Monster 2. So let's get started. Okay, so let's first take a look at the motor as far as what do we get in the box. Get that out of there. We'll put foam. Alright, so motor. Yep, that's gonna work. What I'm gonna do with this right here is I'm gonna go ahead and extend these wires. So I'm gonna use this on my new set of wires. So I have some wires here. I'm going to use these to extend just a little bit, not a lot, but these wires that come with this are way too short. So I need a little bit more length, probably just, another, I don't know, 4 or 5 inches, something like that, just to get it to the electronic speed controller. So I'm going to use these extra little bullets that are here, as far as what the bullets go into. And then on the other end of that, I'll have the wire soldered onto that part of it. And then I'll have, on the other end of it, I'll have the actual larger bullet, the 6.5 millimeter bullets. So I'm gonna do that and get that finished. I can show you guys, and then I'll go from as far as installing the motor from there. All right, so I went ahead and I lengthened the wires here as far as from off the motor itself. So soldered on the actual bullets, the cups and everything like that, and then put the actual bullet connectors on the end. Therefore, that way I can plug it into the actual Mamba Monster. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and start the install of this motor, and we'll go from there. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and remove the electronic speed controller. There's only 2 screws here that hold this case down, or the top piece down. And then I'll remove the wires and along with the actual motor itself. So there's 4 screws on the bottom side of the chassis that'll need to be removed so I can get the motor out as well. Let me bring that forward a little bit. Anyway, these 4 screws right here. So I'll remove that, then that'll come off, and I'll have to just loosen up the screws that hold the heat sink to the actual motor. So I'll loosen those up, and then I'll slide the old one out, put the new motor in, and then go ahead and do the reinstall. Okay. Also wanted to show you as far as the actual can size, the motor sizes, the difference between, you got your Redcat, which is the one that came out of it, and then you have the leopard that's here as well. So the leopard's a little bit longer and it's a little bit thicker. So see if you guys can kind of see that a little bit. You can definitely see that leopard here is a little bit thicker. Also, good way of gauging. Here's the stock one. This is the actual stock heat sink / motor mount. So it goes in there, no problems at all. Oops, sorry. And then you got your leopard here. Yeah, I'm not gonna go in there. So I'm gonna make sure that that's gonna work, and then get that mounted, and then go ahead and mount it into the actual truck itself. All right, guys, so I got the motor installed. I did have to go up on the pinion gear. It was a 15 tooth that was stock in there. I had to go to an 18. Why? Because the can is too big. It's actually bigger than what this thing can really handle. So because it's bigger round wise, it doesn't fit properly in there as well as I would like it to. I saw someone else do it, and I thought, okay, yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll give it a try too. It doesn't mean, I can always put the other motor back in there, put this motor in something else, so it's all good. But I wanted to try it, and I thought, well, my only thing is going to be temperature now, because I'm putting a higher kV motor in this. This is a 2000 kV motor in a higher pinion gear than what came with it. I actually would want to go down on the pinion gear a little bit. That was my expectation, but the The problem is there's not enough for me to actually push this motor closer to the actual spur gear. So I'm kind of stuck at an 18 as of right now. So you can see how that's kind of meshed up in there. Anyhow, so I mean it rolls smooth now, but I did have a problem because the motor was shoved up too close to here and it was rubbing on the actual spur gear, not on the spur gear itself, but the actual housing that, as far as these, let's say call them pillars, what have you, these braces. It was too close, so it pushed it up against the spur gear. So anyway, all wired up. As far as this is the cooling fan, I was going to try to mount that on there somehow. Might be something I might have to eliminate or have to cut this a little bit. I wanted something to kind of keep this motor a little bit cool. Right now in Florida, it's not bad at all, but come summertime, this motor is going to heat up like crazy. I'm sure of it. But anyway, enough of that. I want to go ahead and put some batteries in here and get a running video of it after I get this thing mounted and see how it runs. Oh, it even does wheelies, holy moly. Oh my god, this thing is so sick. Okay guys, this thing does wheelies now. This is not even getting full traction either. And it gets wheelies. This thing is an absolute beast. So I'm just trying to be as careful as possible with it too. I need to do some adjustments as well. You guys getting that? That thing's sick. Oh my. That's no joke. That's just straight power right there. That's that 6S. That's no joke. Oh my god. That is sick. That's like quarter throttle. It gets reckless. I feel like I'm just gonna blow a tire here, so I'm gonna chill. It's hard to. Watch that. Instant pizza shredders. Yeah. doesn't sound right. All right, guys. So I'm gonna kind of leave it as, you know, I had the 2000 kV as far as the Leopard in there. That thing's a straight beast, no question about it. With the Mamba Monster 2, those two together, insane with the 6S setup. As far as the batteries that are in here too, let me show you that so that way you guys kind of know. Should have prepped that before actually. But anyway, it's just the power plan. So you can see the 45C. It has loads of power. The only thing is, when I got done with running it, and it did chew up my fan wire a little bit at the very end of, well, it ended my run because I wasn't sure what was going on, so I just stopped right away when it started making a weird noise. And it wasn't kind of moving, it was kind of bogging. And of course it was trying to chew up my wire here. So I stopped it, end of it, but I got enough footage so you can show you guys, you know, this thing's a straight beast. Yeah, this thing does wheelies. I didn't fall back on the actual wing here or anything like that, so it's in perfect condition. So is the bottom of it too. So I just kept it super clean. You know, I just ran it nicely. Didn't do anything crazy with it. You know, 6S is a lot of power even, you know, just in general, but a lot of power on this vehicle too. And I didn't want to push the limits, break anything. You know, I just wanted. It was wet out, so that was actually a good thing. It didn't put a lot of stress on the drivetrain or anything like that too. Allowed a little bit of slippage, but still lots of grip. But these tires here, yeah, they just pretty much become pizza shredders. They're not good for a 6S at all. Yeah, these tires have to be replaced. There's no question about that if you want to do any kind of 6S, yeah. So if you already have tires that are, you know, these are very soft, so they're great for like bashing. You know, that's more or less what it's for. But when you want to put the power down, these are not going to do it. And I would probably even, you know, on the 4S, yeah, they did balloon a little bit, and I think that's you know, all I'm going to say, that's acceptable. And I was going to actually wrap these so that way they didn't have so much ballooning going on. But these aren't beadlock or anything like that, so these are just faux beadlock. They don't do anything other than just has like a little rim around it, or ring around it. So they're all glued. I don't want to go through all that. You know what, I would probably just go ahead and just switch out the tires if necessary, if I want to make this thing quicker. And I'd have to do a little bit more investigating as far as to what kind of tires would be good for this. So if you think of any kind of tires, like, yeah, because I want to keep the same size, and I don't know if I want to go any bigger than this. I think these size tires are fine. Anyway, I don't want to ramble on too much, but I just want to kind of point out some of the stuff. So will I say this is there's stuff that's kind of rigged, and what I'm saying about rigged is that it's not up to what would be my standards, and I don't want to leave it on anybody else to say, oh, you know, you put this motor in here and this thing's kind of crap in there. Yes, it is. It doesn't fit properly because this size can is bigger than the previous can, the factory can, the Redcat motor. So it's thicker, meaning that it's not going to be able to be tightened all the way down. And when that happens, because, you know, since it's thicker, those want to, instead of like the way it would collapse, like if it was the way it would go and you just fit the motor and everything would be perfectly lined up. Well, on this one, because everything it's stretched out further. So the screws are going to be on an angle, everything's going to be on an angle. And then when you put your screws in too, they're on an angle a little bit. So I don't recommend what I did for you guys because it's not properly, but it was a lot of fun to do it anyhow. Because I had a 2200 kV, it actually came with this motor combination, the 2200 kV 6S motor, all that good fun stuff. Didn't fit at all. It was even bigger than the Leopard as far as the thickness. So everything else is stock. I didn't change any greases or anything like that, oils. I just left it the way it is. It's got a lot of power. So back to the drawing board, but it was definitely a lot of fun. Anyway, until next time, this is Joe with OMGRC. We'll probably do a little bit more conversation. Maybe I'll do like some kind of live chat or live video on YouTube for something like this, or just talk about some of the RC cars that I have and kind of hash it up a little bit and see what you guys think. You can give me some feedback, what have you. But anyway, until next time, again, this is Joe with OMGRC. I appreciate you guys watching. Until next time, later.